For more than 3 weeks, the Ukrainian armed forces have been conducting an operation in the Kursk region. According to the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Oleksandr Syrsky, during this time, the Ukrainian military has managed to take control of 100 settlements with a total area of almost 1,300 square kilometers. And they've also captured 594 Russian servicemen. According to President Volodymyr Zelensky, in this way, the Ukrainian armed forces managed to draw the forces of the Russian army from other directions and prevent an offensive on the border regions.
The Kursk operation brought us several things. First of all, it stopped the occupation of the Kharkiv region. We had information about the creation of buffer zones by the Russians in the Kharkiv region and in the north. We did not know the specifics, but we understood that the Sumy and Chernihiv regions could have been in those plans. This is the information that we received from our intelligence and the intelligence of our international partners. The Kursk operation resolved the issue of non-occupation of the Chernihiv and Sumy regions.
The American Institute for the Study of War notes that the advance of the Ukrainian armed forces in the Kursk region has slowed down recently. According to analysts, the Ukrainian command plans to consolidate its positions on the captured lines and stabilize the situation. Oleksandr Syrsky claims that the Russian army was forced to transfer 30,000 soldiers from other directions to push back the Ukrainian armed forces. Experts are sure that this operation has seriously reduced the effectiveness of the Russian army on the battlefield.
After the events in the Kursk region, the command of the armed forces of the Russian Federation was forced to make a decision to form groups to cover the border. We are not talking about 30,000, we are talking about 100,000 people, so the latest statement by American intelligence was no coincidence. 715,000 military are currently concentrated in Ukraine, but in the near future the Russian Federation plans to increase the number to 800,000. As we can see, the plans of the Russian command to increase the number of occupation troops was thwarted due to the successful nature of the operation in the Kursk region.
American intelligence is confident that Putin will most likely try to recapture these territories, but it will not be easy to implement. Deputy Director of the CIA, David Cohen, said that the operation in the Kursk region could change the dynamics of Russia's war against Ukraine. Now, when the fighting has moved to the territory of the Russian Federation, Putin will face a negative reaction from society, and Moscow's position will become weaker in future negotiations.
Путин на протяжении всей этой войны верил, что время на его стороне, что он будет дожимать украинцев, что он будет постепенно захватывать все больше и больше украинских территорий, как только линия фронта будет установлена на востоке, и что поддержка Запада начнет ослабевать, а его позиции на переговорах будут укрепляться. Я думаю, что это наступление все меняет.
I think we have now a pretty good, example of the Ukrainians being able to mount a quite successful offensive into Russia.
Earlier, the Washington Post, citing sources among high-ranking American officials, reported that amid the Kursk operation, Washington could change the nature of military aid to the Ukrainian armed forces. According to officials, the United States has requested information from the Ukrainian command about the resources needed to conduct the operation. The publication writes that a decision on supplies has not yet been made, but it may involve increasing the number of armored vehicles and ammunition to successfully hold positions. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Andriy Dmitrenko, UATV News.